November 21st, 2011. Ghetto Child. Here, a few days before Great Turkey Day. Yes, I'm working on a landscape here. Or better, the man with no plan. Of course, that's myself. I was diagnosed with a terminal malignant esophageal cancer, and that's a depiction of what life is hoped for. Anyway, this is the man with no plan. I enjoy my art. No, I'm not a Leonardo da Vinci or Michelangelo. Wish I were capable of doing that type of work. By no means would I wish I was them. Of course not. But I definitely wish I had that type of a talent. But I do my work from the way I feel and try to create my expressions to leave some sort of impression. Our society have driven us from economic oppression right here in Lowndes County, the city of Valdosta. We're working with the HUD housing on the project. Done exceedingly well as for the breakthrough for contractors getting projects for the very first time. But they're kind of like the man with no plan. Their portfolios have been damaged, and seems to be a great scheme with some, not with others. Started out, we didn't have to have a bond. Once we get the project, we got to produce the bond. We covered our bases, came up with what we needed, and hopefully these guys will be able to succeed to meet their schedule. But it's all of the problems that black businesses face, small businesses. Don't matter whether you're black or white. If you're not in the cliques and amongst the slicks and not part of the good old boy network, the system, regardless if you want to face up to it or not, you just don't make the grade. If you don't make the grade, you won't be getting paid. As simple as that. But I sit here and enjoy my work, you know. I'm a representative of the Black Business Association, small businesses, and we are trying to bring some things together from creativeness along those lines. And we are hoping that the common sense barrier can be applied to realize that people's portfolios have been damaged from hardships and hard times, and we realize that it's hard and difficult for banks to make loans. But when you get a contract and you got a guarantee of payment from a reliable source, well, then there should be some consideration. But as it goes, personal vendettas seem to come into play with this. And we are hoping that we be able to break through some of the old barriers, get away from around some of the hidden agendas of deep-seated racial hatred that's trying to hide itself but can't, because it's displayed within the actions when the results come. But we are not going to back down. We get the sense of feeling that all the black businesses that's downtown is being driven out. And we're not going to stand by and allow that to happen either. And it's rather sad, it's pathetic that 152 years, we never had a black mayor in the city of Valdosta. Finally we got one, but he wasn't voted in. We meeting with him tomorrow. Sit down and have us a casual conversation pertaining to the economy and what we need to do to get things moving. We're putting forward the effort that we can, and we are hoping that we are not driven to the point that so many are driven. In fact, I know we are not going to be driven. But so many people are driven to the underworld, underground. It's underworld. No one that want to discuss this. No one that want to talk about the hardships on how one is driven to the underworld and the results of the realities of what it brings. It comes down to people saying that black people don't love their children. That's a big lie. Saying that black people don't want to work, that's one of the bigger lies. There's no one in this nation that work harder than blacks in this country. We are being excluded. That's not a lie. And we need inclusion, and that's not a lie. But to say we don't love our children, or it all starts at home and that we're a sorry group of people, but when you're driven to have to live below the poverty level all the time, well, there's another world out there. And the white man is thriving off of that world by a word called fraud. Yes, that's right. That's right. And anything pertaining to government and federal funds, they're stealing it. Legally. But once they're caught, well, then they pay a penalty. But, oh, they buy food stamps and everything else. Oh, they sell their gas and lean and buy gas with stamps and everything else. That's right. And it's these corporations that's doing this. From the upper world, thriving from the underworld. But no one want to talk about this. And then when it comes to economic planning, we are excluded. The creators of the underworld by exclusion from the upper world. So therefore, our little girls, daughters, become prostitutes on the streets. Our young men become hoodlums and thugs, roaming and running the streets, dropping their pants down, looking as if they don't care. But they got a caring mother at home, they got a caring grandparents that say that we love our children and do not appreciate someone saying that discipline starts at home because you don't understand what it's like to live in the ghetto. Don't understand what it was like to not have a right to vote for 100, denied the right to vote for 100 years. Don't understand what it's like to live in a community when you gain a right to vote that didn't have not one financial institution put on that side of the railroad track that you can get an opportunity to start out with equilibrium. No, you don't understand the fact. Maybe you did go to bed hungry a couple of nights. But think about going to bed hungry every night. Yeah. But you understand so much. But you don't understand anything, not about the black culture. All you understand is how to exclude us. How to hide your works on the internet. How to exploit the papers, the newspapers, that they works for you. That's what they do here in Lowndes County. How to tell the part of the news that they only want heard. That's how they operate here in Lowndes County. How to intimidate and harass you. That's how they operate here. How they respect you when they think that they're on the bottom side, and how they give you total disregard when they're a little bit angry. Oh, old plantation style. But no one living by that anymore. Those days are done. Right. They're done. And we are going to be downtown. And I know it's something, not if I can have it, but you can't have it. Because we're going to be determined. Because we are determined, not going to be, we are determined. So, right here in Lowndes County, we filed a federal complaint against the county and the city. And they know that we was excluded from the metropolitan planning. They built a Martin Luther King corridor, brought a big huge monument in. They said there was no Section 3 funds involved. The one that is involved is used up. No black contractors made any monies. But the white contractors, they did. And we supposed to stand by and say, well, Martin, we really appreciate what you doing. You turn us all to idiots and dummies. And we know better than that. Not going to even say we appreciate it. Because it's not nothing that we done. It was something that they done and hand to us. They didn't want us to jump up and down and say, oh, we appreciate it and how hard it was to fight to get the monument. Yes. Big deal. Good. We got the monument. But if Dr. King was living, he would know his life was in vain. That everything he lived for and stood for. Would he be proud these 40-something years later? I think not. What is there to be proud of? What are there to be proud of here in the United States of America? Run down ghettos the same as they were when Dr. King was living. What is there to be so proud of a monument? And we got children running around hungry through the area that the monument was built. What's to be proud to know that we were used to show the disparity, the impact, the despair impact to get the monies for federal assistance. We were excluded and still are excluded. But no one want to discuss it. Be driven, no banks. Good old boys call the shots. Who gonna be what? If they decide you're not gonna be nothing in this town, you won't be anything, so they figure it wrong. Don't work like that anymore. Yeah. There you go. It's Doc with Doc Ghetto Child. And I'm hoping that this work come out pretty good. Looking down through this valley, dreaming of a better place, man with no plan, living life based upon an illusion. This is only an illusion, figments of my mind, my imagination. Yes, this valley exists. It existed in my mind, so I put it on this paper. And some say you make it become a fruition. Well, this is Doc with Doc Ghetto Child. And I do hope that you have a very, very thankful Thanksgiving. And may God bless you. And enjoy Turkey Day. Until next time, this is Doc. Peace.